So short little class on Balaram, and then we'll do the blessings. Vahasi vapushi vishade vasanang jaladabham halahati bhiti milita yamunavam keshavadrita haladhara rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, you have assumed the form of Balaram, the wielder of the plow. All glories unto you. On your brilliant white body, you wear garments the color of a fresh blue rain cloud. These garments are colored like the beautiful dark hue of the river Yamuna, who felt great fear due to the striking of your plowshare. Prabhupada writes in one of his purports in the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada gives a very brief summary of Balaram, which I'm now going to read. Baladev, or Balaram, is the divine son of Vasudeva by his wife Rohini. So Baladev is known as Rohini Nandana, the beloved son of Rohini. Baladev was also entrusted to Nanda Maharaj along with his mother Rohini. When Vasudeva embraced imprisonment by mutual agreement with Kamsa. So Nanda Maharaj is also the foster father of Baladev along with Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna and Lord Baladev were therefore constant companions from their very childhood, although actually they were stepbrothers. Baladev is the plenary or full manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore Baladev is as good and powerful as Lord Krishna himself. Therefore, Baladev belongs to the Vishnu Tattva category, the category of principle of Godhead. Also, in the Leela of Krishna, Baladev attended the Swayamvara ceremony of Draupadi along with Sri Krishna. And when Subhadra was kidnapped by Arjuna by the organized plan of Sri Krishna, Baladev was very angry with Arjuna and wanted to kill Arjuna at once. Sri Krishna, for the sake of his dear friend Arjuna, then fell at the feet of Lord Baladev, imploring Balaram not to be so angry. Ultimately, Baladev was satisfied. And similarly, Baladev was once very angry with the Kauravas, and so Balaram wanted to throw their whole city into the depths of the Yamuna. But the Kauravas ultimately satisfied Baladev by surrendering unto his divine lotus feet. Actually, Baladev was the seventh son of Devaki prior to the birth of Lord Krishna, who was the eighth son. So by the will of Lord Krishna, Baladev was transferred to the womb of Rohini in order to escape the wrath of Kamsa. Baladev's other name is therefore Sankarshana, who is also the plenary or full portion of Krishna, because Baladev is as powerful as Lord Krishna, and so he can also bestow spiritual power to the devotees. Balaram is therefore also known as Baladev. In the Vedas, it is enjoined that no one can know the Supreme Lord without being favored by Baladev. The Sanskrit word bala actually refers to spiritual strength, not physical strength. Some less intelligent persons interpret bala as the strength of the body. But no one can have spiritual realization simply by physical strength alone. No. Physical strength ends with the end of the physical body, but spiritual strength follows the spirit soul to the next transmigration. And therefore the strength obtained by Baladev is never wasted. That strength is eternal, and thus Baladev is the original spiritual master of all devotees. I'm going to repeat that for my own benefit because I need that to sink in. Baladev is the original spiritual master of all devotees. Sri Baladev was also a class friend of Lord Sri Krishna as a student of Sandipani Muni in his childhood. Baladev killed many asuras along with Sri Krishna, and specifically Balaram killed the Dhenuka asura at Talavan. During the Kurukshetra battle, Baladev remained neutral, and Baladev tried his best not to bring about the fight. Baladev was in favor of Duryodhana, but still Baladev remained neutral. And at the end, when there was a club fight between Duryodhana and Bhimasen, Baladev was present on the spot. Balaram was angry at Bhimasen when he struck Duryodhana on the thigh or below the belt, and Baladev wanted to retaliate the unfair action. But Lord Sri Krishna saved Bhima from the wrath of Balaram. So, Lord Balaram left that place at once, being disgusted at Bhimasena, and after his departure, Duryodhana fell to the ground to meet death. The funeral ceremony of Abhimanyu, or son of Arjuna, was performed by Baladev as he was the maternal uncle. It was impossible to be performed by any one of the Pandavas at that time because they were all overwhelmed with grief. At the last stage, Baladev departed from this world by producing a great white snake from his mouth, and thus Balaram was carried to the spiritual worlds by his Sheshanag expansion in the shape of a serpent. So that's Prabhupada's purport in the first canto. And so we'll wrap up here with this. These are the demons that in my research, I have imperfect senses, but as far as I can tell, these following are the demons that Balaram killed during Krishna's avatar. So Dhenuka was in the form of a jackass. Pralamba, he assumed a huge, gigantic form, and Balaram killed him. Rukmi, we heard that recently at the wedding of the grandson and granddaughter, and there was a gambling match, and Rukmi was cheating. Then finally, Balaram had had enough with this Rukmi. So those three demons we already studied. We studied Dhenuka and Pralamba in Vrindavan, and we just recently studied the killing of Rukmi. So we have three more demons to go in our remainder classes. Next demon that we will hear Balaram killing is Dvivida in the form of a huge orangutan. Interesting story of Romaharshana Sutta, where Lord Balaram has to kill someone on the Vyasasan. And then finally we will hear about the demon Vallabha. So that's my presentation on Lord Balaram. And I'd like to now end by giving you blessings. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat.